I am going to show where Spring Boot is actually used, for what kind of application development we are going to work here, that I'm going to show, like Spring Boot type of applications. And there is another concept called microservices. These two introduction, that is demo session, I am just taking here, understand. Mainly in real time, we will be having distributed applications more. Okay, distributed applications. Generally, if you take the applications nowadays, they're actually distributed applications. Okay, that means actually an application we can run it multiple devices in simple definition. Okay, RS, it simply contains one backend and multiple front ends. Like that also you can say here. Okay, distributed applications simply, if you want to mention here, runs at multiple devices. Okay, that runs at multiple devices. Simple definition if you want to know here. Okay, for example, if you take SBI bank application, okay, we'll just take SBI bank application here. Okay, so in this case, this bank application contains actually multiple clients. Okay, you can see banking can be accessed in multiple ways actually. Okay, so for example, you can just use net banking. Okay, you can use net banking, you can go to icsa.com something here. There you can, if already account is there, you already registered, okay, you can log in and you can process here. Okay, that is actually called net banking, is a one. Okay, or else you can just download one mobile application. Okay, it's a mobile application, you can download and you can work, is a one. Or else you can go to ATM, automated teller machine, you can just go to ATM. From there also you can transfer the money. Okay, from there you can check balance. Okay, we can withdraw amount here. Okay, that's a ATM. Okay, that's actually connected to third party services. Okay, third party integrations. For example, if you are using Google Pay, by using Google Pay, okay, so you can just do money transfer. You have account in SBI bank, or you have account in some XYZ bank, that's not an issue. Google Pay supports adding that bank details too. So, and you can do money transfer also here. Okay, so like we'll be having different scenarios. Okay, we have even so many. You might have listen IVR, interactive voice response. Okay, if you make call to customer care, they'll show something like this: please press 1 to check your balance, please press 2 to talk to our customer care center, please press 3, okay, to connect to these services. Like that, they say that is called interactive voice response. There's also one client type actually here. So these are all the different types of applications are available in SBI bank. Okay, so if you look at this, these are all not multiple applications, these are actually single, it's a one. Okay, these are all one actually here. So these are all one applications will be developed using a single backend service. This application is implemented using one front end, sorry, one backend application and multiple front end applications. Okay, one backend application and multiple front-end applications. How to develop this backend application here is that we are going to develop using Spring Boot. Okay, we are going to develop using Spring Boot here, backend application. We are going to develop Spring Boot here. This is actually, I want to develop this SBI banking application here, how it can be done. Okay, observe here. This can be developed using Spring Boot concept here, backend application, and front-end applications are developed by using different kind of technologies concepts here. I'm just going to show. Okay, let us just do the same thing using Spring Boot concept, then how it is going to be here. Okay, observe carefully. Okay, now let us just develop the distributed applications concept here by using Spring Boot concept, how it is going to be. We'll be having two types of applications here. Okay, one is actually backend application here. Okay, and second is actually front-end application. Okay, backend application, we are using Spring Boot actually total here. And if you design this one in a simple concept using layers, Okay, if we just design using layers here, so I'm just taking three important layers. One is actually integration layer. Second one we can call service layer or business layer. And third one is actually data access layer. Okay, so application will be divided into layers. Application will be divided into layers. In that layers we are going to write the code. For example, if we take one house or one home, okay, so that contains multiple rooms like bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, balcony. How we divide here also same. Our backend application we are going to develop using Spring Boot. Okay, that application contains layers, like three different layers. Okay, data access layer, service layer, and integration layer here. Okay, in the data access layer we are going to perform some CUD operations mostly here. Okay, so we are going to connect with the database here. We are going to connect with the database by using data access layer. Okay, here we use the concept of mostly Spring Data. We are going to use Spring Data. Spring Data contains again multiple options. One JDBC, second JPA. Okay, and even some NoSQL concepts also there. It's a MongoDB. Okay, so as Redis, we have multiple concepts here. Okay, in simple, we are going to use a concept of Spring Data here in data access layer that is used to perform the database operations. Okay, next second layer, service layer will be there. Okay, service layer mainly we are going to do some calculations. Okay, we are going to do calculations, transaction management. Okay, so basic data checkings and validations if you want to do here, we are going to do in service layer. Okay, a service layer we are going to write a simple pojo design pattern we are going to follow. Okay, for loosely coupling concept here we follow this one. It's an interface and implementation design. We just follow here. Next, coming to third integration layer, this is the most important one. It is going to make HTTP calls by using RESTful services. Okay, we are going to use RESTful web services here. Okay, that is actually supports HTTP calls. Okay, we can just make HTTP calls here. This is completely implemented using Spring REST. Okay, the concept is actually Spring REST we use actually here because all our front-end applications will communicate with our back-end applications using RESTful web service concept only. We can call all our front-end applications are clients. Okay, we can also call it client applications here. These are all client applications. Okay, we'll be having different types of client applications here. Okay, for example, you are implementing one application browser specific, which runs in browser. Okay, so browser specific application you just created, for example, like net banking. Okay, this application is created using Angular or React.js. Okay, Angular or React.js we just implemented here. Angular or React.js will be having HTTP library. Okay, by using HTTP client modules or HTTP library like Axios or HTTP client. Okay, they are going to make request to this integration layer. Okay, so again they will get the response back here. Okay, if you are using one mobile application, okay, something like Android application or iOS application, you might be developing here any language. That's, it can be any language. It might be Android or iOS application you're developing here. It is also going to make a HTTP call, and it will make the call to backend application that will communicate and that will get the response. If you're using any bank site in your mobile, just try to connect without internet to your application. Okay, everyone might be having some softwares like bank software in your mobiles. Okay, so you just try to open your mobile application, okay, without internet connection and see what it is going to give response. Okay, why it is not giving response means whatever the software you are installed in your mobile is like a client application. That's only client application. That's not a server. Okay, server will be actually, it's a backend application. Okay, now not only this one, even let us just take third party integrations here. Okay, we can call it integration components. Just I'm taking as a, it's a third party. Okay, for example, assumption it's a bank application. Okay, this can be connected to some UPI payments that is called Google Pay. Okay, or something like Phone Pay. You can just use it multiple places. You can use it multiple places, one application here. Okay, not only this one, if it especially take as a bank application, so many types of clients will come. ATM also one client, mobile application is a client. Okay, third party Google Pay is actually client. Now in this case it's a client that will communicate to our backend application. So how it is going to communicate with this here is, okay, so here Angular JS application or React JS application or Google Pay application will make call to our backend application using HTTP protocol. Using HTTP protocol, HTTP request and HTTP response. Okay, that makes the request and gets the response here. Okay, data is exchanged in the form of JSON, JavaScript object notation, that is called JSON data format. Okay, if you don't know JSON, not to worry, I'll teach what is that JSON and how to work with that. Okay, JSON or XML. Okay, because Angular is a different language actually here, completely it's a different concept. Okay, where our backend is a different one here. Data, if it is there, okay, if they are trying to send here, this completely runs in UI technologies actually, that is JavaScript format. Okay, Android is of course Java, but iOS is a different language. So third party applications, we can't guess what kind of language they might be using. .NET, PHP, Python. One language to another language, data transfer should be done. Okay, for example, in the backend we are using Java. Our Java object as it is, we can't send to UI here. That will be converted to XML or JSON format that is given to UI. Okay, nowadays mostly used is JSON because of its structure. It's a lightweight which occupies less memory and conversion is faster compared to XML. JSON is mostly used. Okay, but still some companies might be working on XML concept only here. So I'll show both the types actually, but most priority is actually JSON. Okay, they will use HTTP protocol and makes a request and gets the response. Okay, gets the response here. So here our application we are going to design like this here. It's a backend application. Okay, so this backend application is going to involve, so this integration layer takes this request call and gives the response here that will communicate to service layer. Okay, that will just communicate to data access layer and perform the database. Okay, a simple design I just gave, even it is actually very lengthy and complex actually, just it's a demo session, I just gave understandable format here. Okay, so such designing we are going to do and we are going to write the implementation. Okay, these concepts are actually called as distributed applications. Okay, in simple definition actually runs at multiple devices, multiple clients and one backend. Okay, our backend is actually Spring Boot application and multiple front-end applications, actually client applications. You can see these are all front-end applications actually, what you see here. Okay, so here this is one concept that is actually backend application. Okay, now here you should know one more concept actually here, how this end-to-end process is going to be. Okay, so in the companies generally in olden days, developer is used to write the code and test the code. Okay, that is only his duty, but nowadays it's not like that. Okay, companies are asking some more extra knowledge, even some other concepts. Okay, after Spring Boot introduction. Okay, what is the concept here is that is actually end-to-end process. Okay, what is the end-to-end process? I'll explain here. That is a development to deployment. Okay, development to deployment. Actually, this process actually you should have a basic knowledge over this concept also. These tools also I'll cover here in our project session. Okay, so in our course session we are going to see these concepts also here. Observe what is that end-to-end process. I'm just going to give overview here. That is end-to-end development to deployment process. Now, for example, you are the person you joined in the company today. Okay, so you just joined in a company today here, you are a developer here. Okay, you will get assigned one system and some credentials they will provide here. All company accounts they'll provide here. Okay, so you can just log in and you can access all the profiles, all the different kind of tools in the company. Now what you are going to do here, first of all, there is another person like you who actually there in the company is actually called BA, business analyst. Okay, is actually called BA, business analyst actually here. Okay, so this BA what is going to do is going to use a methodology called Agile, one of the software methodology. Actually, you might have listened SDLC models, software development lifecycle models actually here. So one of the methodology actually here is one of the methodology, software methodology actually is Agile actually. So this Agile is a we are going to work with a tool called Jira. Okay, generally our companies will be having different kind of tools actually. So is going to update all the task actually. Okay, different kind of issues will be there. Okay, what kind of work we need to do. Okay, all the issues actually generally update. Okay, developer has to log in and take work from there. Okay, after all sprint plannings are done here, after plannings are done. Okay, now first what we are going to do as a developer, we are going to write the code. Okay, before that we have to do the setup, we have to create the project. Spring Boot supports creating project using Maven or Gradle. Observe carefully, I just want to create the application by using the concept of Spring Boot here. Okay, we are going to use a concept of Maven or Gradle. Okay, so that is for creating the application structure and providing the required jars, folder system concept and all here we are going to do. Okay, Spring Boot application can be created either using only Maven or Gradle. No other tool is supported as of now. Okay, no other tool is supported as of now here. Okay, that's the first one here. Second, we are going to do unit testing. Okay, we are going to do unit testing after coding is done actually here. We are going to do code and then we are going to do unit testing by using JUnit with mock. Okay, here integration framework will be there in the Spring Boot. We have to test using this one here. Next, as a good programming, always implement logging concept, not login logout. It's a logging concept. In your understanding, it's actually log4j. Okay, or error tracing concept in production servers. Okay, your application works really good in your local machine. Okay, but once it is moved to actual server, that is called production server. Okay, then only actual problems comes. How to analyze those problems using log4j concept that we are going to see here. Okay, so once you do with these minimum things actually here, then your code must be updated to one repository. Okay, this is actually called code repository or version controlling software we can also call. Okay, we'll be having a code repository. Okay, this actually called GitHub, one of the mostly used tool. Okay, so similar to that, so many are there, but it is only famous actually. Okay, once you done with the code here, your code must be updated a centralized repository. Okay, so here we are going to take the code and we are going to give the code. Okay, we can push our code here and we can pull our code here like this. Okay, so in this format we are going to do here operations. Okay, once your coding is done, yes, you have to push and you can even pull here like this. Okay, so this is actually general workflow here up to a developer, but not over. Even we have some continuation here. Okay, there is a concept called DevOps tool. Okay, we should have even minimum knowledge over this here. Okay, once you done here, there is a software used. What this software will do, this Git contains all our code files. Okay, it will take all our code files. Okay, it will take all our code files and it will convert into a jar format or a var format. Our code files are converted into either a jar format or var format. We can call Java archive or web archive. Okay, this actually called it's a continuous integration here. Okay, this actually called CI, continuous integration, CI. Okay, this is a continuous integration. It is going to take all our files here and it is going to create either jar or var format here. Okay, so once it is done here, this jar or var file, it is going to place in a location after testing. Okay, it is going to place in a cloud deployment actually. Okay, I'll show that continuation here. Observe. Okay, one of the tool that will take our code files and create a jar or var file, one of the famous tools actually is Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins actually will take here. Okay, then after that, what it is going to do here, these files, not only these files, even it will be using something else more here. Okay, for example, this jar or var file assumption, something we got var file. Okay, not only that var file, you need some JRE software. Okay, you need something like a Tomcat server. Okay, you need something like a MySQL database. What are all required to run your application? Okay, we need something extra more. What are all required to run our application will be created as a single component. They actually called as Docker containers. Okay, it's like a single software packing everything into one, here. Okay, so a simple advantage of Docker here is you can run on any operating system. A simple, it's like a Docker software is a platform independent. Okay, in simple point here, it behaves like a OS. Okay, so it will create a Docker image, or we can call, these are all Docker images individually. Okay, this is simply remember as a Docker software completely here. Okay, it will containerize. Once it is containerized here, okay, so here it is going to be deployed. Okay, it is going to be deployed in a cloud environment. Okay, we can use cloud like PCF Pivotal Cloud Foundry, our own cloud for actually Spring Boot here. We may use AWS or we may use Google Cloud. Okay, so we have so many different types of cloud environments. Means actually in an internet location we can call simply. Okay, it's an internet location here. So our files are actually placed here. Okay, our complete whatever the Docker container is there here, those are actually placed here. Complete application setup will come. Okay, and it's like a server in internet. In your understanding, cloud nothing but actually here we actually running our application in internet here. Okay, so taking the applications, okay, and creating some Docker engines and placing actually is actually called continuation deployment. This process is actually called CD. Here even few more tools also will come here, like Kubernetes, okay, Ansible and Puppet, like so many tools will come. I'm not giving all here. Okay, later we are going to see one by one, step by step. Okay, just I'm giving as overview here. It's a CI, continuous integration, take continuously code here and create a var file, and CD, continuous deployment. Okay, this process is actually called deployment. Okay, deployment nothing but placing our application all set up in the cloud environment and starting running our application. Okay, understand? Deployment means whatever we are doing here, completely we are placing the application in the cloud environment and running that process here. Okay, that's generally called as deployment here. Okay, once the deployment is done, now we are going to inform to end client, hey, you can use whatever the machine that you have with the given client software here. Okay, I am just showing the reverse flow here. Okay, it's actually client. Okay, so client application is going to make a request here and it's going to get the response. Okay, so Spring Boot supports all these integrations even. Okay, we have even integrations tool supporting here. It's actually making the request and getting the response here. Okay, so these tools, some tools overview also I'll cover here. Okay, like Agile, GitHub, Jenkins, especially these tools, development side here, these tools you should have minimum knowledge. Not only this, I'll even list out later even few more also. Okay, I'll show here. As it's a demo, I'm just showing the overview for you as the knowledge here. This is called CI/CD pipeline here. Okay, observe. CI/CD pipeline here. Kubernetes actually comes actually, okay, one student is asking, okay, Debesh Naik is asking, sir, where exactly Kubernetes comes here? Okay, it's actually in case of horizontal scaling, and we have scaling concept. Okay, scaling nothing but actually one application you are actually running. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes because of load is more, number of users are more, then we have to create one more instance. Okay, second Docker image should be created, third Docker in container should be created, like multiple Docker containers created, and how to handle. In that case, handling of multiple instances actually done by Kubernetes actually. Okay, so if I start that, it will become very lengthy. Okay, in the upcoming sessions, I'll explain the concept of Kubernetes concept actually. Okay, so there's actually clustering, okay, and handling concept here. Okay, what is auto scaling, okay, horizontal scaling and vertical scaling concepts, we'll see that. Okay, that's actually somewhat lengthy process. Okay, as of now, just I'm giving this flow. Okay, I'll give the overview also in this session only. Okay, understand, let me just finish this, then I'll come to your point also here. Okay, in the end-to-end process here, we are just going to see here. So first understand here, we are going to use Maven or Gradle, but still Maven is only most famous. I'll give just Gradle overview also. Okay, so Maven or Gradle we are going to use actually. By using Maven or Gradle, what we are going to do mostly here, we can get the jars required to our project is a one. Okay, from the central memory is the first one here. Okay, and we can even, Maven even supports executing test cases. Okay, we can even execute the test cases even if you write JUnit files even. Okay, Maven supports actually some plugins, compiler plugins, okay, var plugin, jar plugins. Okay, we'll be having some plugins actually here. Okay, so this Maven concept is going to use here, especially parent child concept. Actually, we are going to work parent project and child project, that we are going to see in the Maven session, but I'm just giving as a point here, parent project and child project. In the yesterday session, I explained Spring Boot is a parent project. Spring Boot is a parent project that is used to give complete setup and requirements, which reduces developer work. Our project is actually child project. Whatever the project we are creating, without parent child, there is no concept in Spring Boot programming here. Okay, even Maven supports creating our code into jar or var format. Okay, so we can even convert our code into jar or var format here. Even Jenkins internally uses one of the build tool. Okay, Jenkins also internally uses one of the build tool to do conversion here. Okay, so there's Maven or Gradle it is going to use internally to convert our code into jar or var format here. Okay, there's a main one here. Okay, there's a Maven or Gradle here. Now understand some concepts actually here. What is CI? Okay, and CD here. Okay, so generally CI, continuous integration, nothing but. Okay, so we have the code in GitHub. Okay, GitHub, from the GitHub, Jenkins is reading actually here. Okay, and converting into jar or var format by using internally one build tool. That's actually called CI. Okay, continuous integration here. And next one, continuous deployment. Now what Jenkins is doing actually here, okay, that's actually taking our code files, okay, that var or jar files into one container system. Okay, so here it is going to use, combination is used actually here, Docker with a Kubernetes concept actually. Okay, and that is actually going to work with a cloud environment. Okay, that will deploy the application in the cloud environment here. So that's actually called, that's a continuous deployment. Okay, CI/CD pipeline, that is also called here. Okay, we used to call here, that is actually CI/CD pipeline here. Okay, that's just another overview I am just giving here. Okay, understand here where exactly Spring Boot is used. One is actually distributed application. Okay, distributed application means actually application runs in multiple devices. That's the first example I gave. Web banking application, if we take here, we'll be having three different layers. Data access layer, service or business layer, integration layer. Okay, integration layer, nothing but mainly RESTful web service. Okay, that makes a call and that gives a response. Data will be completely in JSON or XML format here. It can be plain text also, but not our Java objects. These are the different clients. For all the clients, single application. It's the first one. Okay, second, this actually overview in real time how it is going to be here. Okay, so this actually we have to take the works from the Jira software. Okay, and we have to do the code, and we have to do unit test and implement the logging concept here, and push your code to GitHub. Okay, and you can take other developer files from here, and you can just give it to Jenkins. Okay, from there it's a Dockerization, a single container which contains actually all the required software and run in any environment. Okay, any environment. Okay, so environment independent, we can also call simply Docker here, and that is going to deploy application here and we can access. Okay, there's another overview. Okay, third one we are going to see. Okay, that's actually called microservice design. Okay, I'm just giving overviews only here. Okay, so just you will understand something like how exactly it is functioning. Okay, to know this all concepts one by one, we have to learn course and we have to do one concept step by step we have to learn. Okay, today I just shown something like it's a data JPA. That's actually I said JPA. What is this JPA and how to work with this? One separate chapter will be there. Okay, that will be taking something like 10 days session like that. Okay, in that session I'll be explaining what are all those. Today I'm just giving as an overview. It's like a demo. Okay, I'm just giving here, it's a demo session or you only I'm just giving. Okay, still if you have any doubts in this, okay, at the end you can ask, not a issue. Even I'll give my email ID also, you can just communicate with that. Okay, javaby@gmail.com here. Okay, and if you missed first demo session also, I'll give the recorded video link, you can just go through that. Okay, now let me continue here. The mostly used concept nowadays actually is microservices. Okay, microservices. Okay, generally if you are developing any project, okay, that project actually contains multiple modules. Okay, generally any project you take that contains multiple modules. Okay, these modules are implemented and finally single software is created. Okay, let us just take one example project. Okay, we'll just comparison purpose, I'm just taking Amazon. Okay, if you want to purchase any product, actually we go to Amazon website. Okay, it's an e-commerce application. Anything, just I'm taking as a one project. Consider one project Amazon. Okay, that contains multiple modules. If we go to first of all Amazon, generally what you are going to do is actually it's a search. You are going to search the items. Okay, to develop the search screen, getting the items and displaying, consider it is a one module. Okay, in a similar, once you've done search, what is the next thing that you are going to do? Cart, adding the item to cart. Okay, then you are going to fill the details. Next, you are going to do payment gateway or simply payment. Okay, search is a one module, or it's a part of project. It's another part of project. It's a one more part of project. These are all individual parts we actually call as modules. We actually call as modules here. Okay, payment module will be there. Like we'll be having so many. Okay, once you've done payment, you are going to do tracking. Okay, you are going to do tracking. Then you can just get your invoice. That's called bills actually what you've done here. Okay, then you can just give feedback. Okay, you can just give returns. Okay, so you can just give comment section, like we'll be having so many. It is, if you just take one project that actually contains multiple modules. Okay, multiple modules. Okay, all multiple modules you just create as a single software. Okay, only one var file or one jar file. Okay, all modules we just created as a one project. Okay, this one project we just converted as a one var file. Of course, in Spring Boot you can work as a jar also, but generally it's a one var file. Okay, one var file that's actually called monolithic application. It's a monolithic application. Mono means one. Generally mono means one actually here. It's a monolithic application. Okay, so here in this monolithic application we have some limitations actually we can call. Okay, that's actually first thing here, especially we have seen CI/CD pipeline here, right? Observe, just now I explained this one. Okay, we are just doing something here. Consider I am just doing some code changes. Something returns are not working properly here. Just returns are not working here. Then what we are going to do, I just did some code modifications. In this module, there is some bug, some exceptions are coming. Okay, I did identify that. Okay, I'm just doing some code modification here. After doing code modification, I'll update here. Then if you update here, it will create a var file. Okay, this var file will be created again using all the modules. Actually, we did changes in only one. Of course, you did changes in only one, but it's a single software. Again, everything is included and new var file is created. Even though you do code changes in one, it should be created from beginning as a single file. Again, Dockerization should be done. Again, it should be deployed in the cloud. Okay, completely from the beginning. Okay, it's like a redoing process for the complete modules here. Even though you just modify one, okay, it has to do modification for all. Meanwhile, this software, what exactly you are using, that will be stopped for some time. Okay, that will be stopped for some time actually here. That's really not good. And even in exception in returns may not properly functionize application, that may stop the complete process even. Okay, for example, they want to do some tracking actually, but returns, in the returns application, you got some suddenly one exception that caused something completely application down because of some problem internally happened. Okay, returns is actually stopping complete application functionality. Assumption such kind of bug has come in application, then because of this problem, okay, we can't do anything, search, cart, payment, nothing we can do. Okay, consider feedbacks is giving some problem. Okay, consider payment is giving some problem, you can't do even search and cart also. Okay, because it's a monolithic, something problem comes in the one module. Okay, that may, I can't give guarantee that that may stop complete functionality. Okay, more than 75% chances are there to stop complete functionality here. Okay, because of it's a single, it's a monolithic application. Okay, that's a one of the limitation actually here. Okay, application is going to affect completely if there is any bug in one or multiple modules. Okay, even creating one more instance, that is actually called scaling. Okay, scaling we actually called scaling, nothing but improving the application levels actually. Okay, increase the application performance concept, we do scaling actually. Okay, scalings are two types actually. One is actually called horizontal scaling. Okay, second was actually vertical scaling. Okay, so before explaining this concept, generally I'm asking a question. Okay, so nowadays if you want to book any ticket, you are just using the concept like online. But olden days, assumption, just olden days, we used to go to theaters and stand in a queue and take a ticket. Okay, I think some people might have faced this issue. Okay, so that's actually, that is olden days concept actually here. Okay, so that is, if you just go to one theater, assumption, you are just going to theater, their booking counter is there. Assumption just something like here, it's a booking counter is there. Okay, so this booking counter, okay, it's a booking counter, some counter one is there. Okay, it's actually this opened. Okay, so here number of people are actually standing in the queue. Okay, number of people are actually standing in the queue here like this. Okay, there is a very big queue. Okay, it's like it's a weekend actually here, there is a very big queue. Okay, but they want to give some fast service, they want to give some fast service. Then how to handle that queue? If the number of people are more, then how to handle that process? If someone asks here, what is the answer you may get here is very simple: have one more counter, have one more counter, like multiple counters. Okay, why they actually maintaining multiple counter is to give a fast service. Okay, to give a fast service actually here. Okay, increasing number of counters. Okay, of course, what are the tickets that you can get here, you can get even same here also. Okay, that's actually creating multiple instances we actually call. Same concept we apply in our programming also. Okay, consider, consider we actually doing a concept of here. Okay, we just wrote one application. Okay, we just wrote one application, that application is running in server 1. Okay, browser is actually making the request to this application and getting the response. But one application, consider you are using Tomcat server or generally any server. Okay, so it is actually at a time, it will support number of users to process here by default 200. Do you know that? Okay, default capacity is 200. 200 threads, or we can also call 200 requests can be handled parallelly. Okay, if one of the 200 has become free, then another request can come. Of course, you can increase and decrease by using that, by using a property in the Tomcat actually. But the thing here is what I'm just doing, I'm just creating one more instance. I'm just creating one more instance. Okay, creating multiple instances like this. Okay, I'm just creating multiple instances here. This is called server 2 and server 3. Okay, this actually multiple instances I'm creating. Okay, creating one application, one more instance means running same application, same code, nothing new, same application in another server, one more server, or creating multiple instances like this is actually called as horizontal scaling. It's a horizontal scaling. Okay, so this is horizontal scaling. Okay, creating one more instance actually here, new instance is created. Okay, it's not easy as you think, simply create new instance here. Okay, for that we have to do a lot of work, especially in monolithic application. This is very complex. Okay, so here it's actually creating one more instance is called horizontal scaling. Then you may get, sir, what is vertical scaling actually here? Okay, let me finish this, then we come to vertical scaling even. Okay, here multiple softwares are handled using one mediator. Okay, that's actually called load balance server. Hey, it's not a class to give all the points and all, it's a just demo. Okay, I'm just showing what I'll teach in regular sessions. Okay, I'm just showing, it's not a class here. Remember, again, I'm saying it's a demo session. In this session, I'm just showing what are the things will be there in the Spring Boot, what you are going to learn. Okay, it's like a movie trailer. If you watch movie trailers, it will be just like 5 minutes. Okay, in that 5 minutes, you won't see everything here. That's what I'm explaining here. Remember that. Okay, so next class session onwards will be regular session. This is like a demo. Okay, I'm just showing that what are the things will be there in real time. Completely over your knowledge I'm just giving. Okay, you may not get completely here. Okay, sorry, you did not explain completely Jenkins, you may ask. So I just explained what will be there actually. Okay, this tool will be there. I'm just showing here. Okay, you may ask, sir, you did not write complete mobile application. Here I can't write it. Okay, so one student asking, sir, you are not explaining full of Jenkins. Here it's a demo. That's what I said here. In this demo, I'm just showing what I will cover. Okay, what I'll cover as a part of project, what is required in nowadays industry concept. Okay, if you just go to IT company, what kind of things nowadays is actually going in the market, that I'm just showing. That is the same thing I'm just covering in my course I'm saying here. Okay, it's a load balance server. What it is going to do here, it behaves like a mediator. Whenever any request comes here, it is going to check which server is free as of now. Okay, it will just navigate here. Okay, you just compare something like, okay, there is a security person standing in front of booking counters. If any person comes, he says, hey, go to counter 2, it's free. Hey, go to counter 3, it is free, like that. Okay, whenever a request comes from client application here, okay, our response is going here. Okay, but doing this process is very complex. Okay, doing this process is actually very complex. Okay, if small modification came in any one module, all instances must be stopped. All instances must be stopped. Again, redeploy. Again, redeploy. That's very big complication in monolithic. Okay, monolithic application having problem in scaling. It's not easy to handle horizontal scaling. Okay, even if one module not working properly, if one module is not working properly, it may affect full project, full application. It may affect actually full project, may not work properly. And scaling is not an easy process actually. We have to create all instance must be stopped. Again, all we need to redeploy, because small modification you do here, that is even the process. Okay, if you want to know vertical scaling, okay, what is just vertical scaling? I'm just giving overview here. Okay, vertical scaling, nothing but you are just writing one application. Okay, your application is running in one computer. Just assumption it's a server. Okay, if you want to just increase Tomcat number of threads 200 to some 400, yes, if you just simply change the threads, it's not over. What you need to do is system capacity. We are just going to say that a system capacity is always calculated how good and how fast it works by using the concept of CPU. Okay, how much speed it is actually, how many clock cycles it is actually working, and second one is actually RAM. Okay, these are the two important things. Okay, is your CPU is actually more number of clock cycles and your RAM capacity is big, okay, then it's actually really good. Okay, already your CPU and RAM something here, consider it's actually something like octa core CPUs there or quad core CPUs there, and something like 10 GB RAM is there. Again, we are increasing the number of CPUs and number of RAMs in the same system. Okay, increasing the CPU capacity, okay, by doing something small hardware modifications and doing RAM, increasing the RAM capacity of same system, no second system, same system. This actually called as vertical scaling. Okay, vertical scaling improve hardware capacity. Okay, that's improve the hardware capacity. That's generally called as vertical scaling here. Okay, it's actually vertical scaling here. Okay, so here, this actually in real time, both that is actually horizontal scaling and vertical scaling will be do. Okay, generally scalings are done by using, okay, at the time of coding, we do just manual scaling actually, but in real time, this is taken care by Kubernetes. Okay, one person asked, sir, where Kubernetes actually involves one application considered as a one Docker image. This is completely one Docker. Okay, so nothing but our JDK is there. Okay, our JRE is there, our code is there, Tomcat server and database instance is there, connectivity is there, and similar to that, one more Docker image. How to handle such process? Okay, for that generally Kubernetes taken. Okay, that's actually called container orchestration or simply handling of multiple instances. Okay, here Kubernetes are going to come into picture. Okay, so it is actually scaling process, monitoring process. Okay, descaling, nothing but remove. Okay, this is not required because just two is sufficient. Why to give burden to server? Okay, descaling or scaling, okay, that can be done actually. That can be done generally in case of Kubernetes, but not monolithic. Okay, monolithic will become very complex, scaling will become very complex, means stop all instances for small application also. Okay, like we'll be having some limitations. Monolithic will be having some limitations. Then what is the solution here is microservices. Okay, what is microservices? A simple point, search module is there, right? Take as a one project and run in one separate server. Cart module is there, take as one project, run in one separate server. Payment module is there, take as one project and run in separate server here. Divide the modules as projects. Okay, payment and returns. That's your wish actually based on the designing requirement that we have to do. It's a one project. But finally, these are combined. Okay, they actually developed and deployed individually. Okay, developed and deployed individually. Let me just show a small diagram for this. Okay, how this microservice concept will be there here. Okay, see here, this is one application running in service one. This actually called search. It's a search project. Okay, that is running in server one. Okay, see, I'm just asking a question. If you go to Amazon, like you, 100% are using Amazon. Okay, there are 100 people, 100% are using Amazon. Just tell me which module is mostly accessed here. Can you guess which module is actually mostly accessed? Very good, right answer you gave, search module. Okay, do you think actually 100% who actually searching will do payment also? Will do payment also? Okay, you are saying no. Very good. So definitely answer is correct. Some people will be there, they will do window shopping. Okay, nowadays it has become even more also. Okay, they'll open, oh my god, this really nice mobile. Okay, iPhone mobile is really good. I will ask my papa this time. Okay, so he may get that mobile to me. Okay, we'll just think and he will close that. Okay, some people will actually, so many people I have just seen recently. Okay, if any new product is coming, okay, they'll do something like, yeah, notify me, they'll click on that. Okay, Amazon, they'll think something, okay, you may purchase that, you will send notification, okay, just you will click on cancel button. Okay, so yeah, just I'm saying, yes, I'm just kidding here. So here the concept is, understand, one module will be mostly accessed, another module will be very less accessed. In that case, okay, scaling should be done. Okay, search module, you just scale it multiple instances. Okay, where cart module, you just create only one or two instances. Okay, it's a cart module, it's a cart. Okay, cart two instances sufficient. Okay, scaling will be done. Okay, servers, all these are servers, numbers I'll give just different. Okay, so here dividing like this. Okay, service 2 and service 3, server 3, it's a server 4 and server 5. Okay, and for example, payment will do, very less people will do, you just think like that. Okay, one instance sufficient, it's actually payment. Okay, now if any problem comes in payment module, you do code and you just only stop this instance and just update this. Okay, dividing the one project into like individual modules or individual services and developing like this. Okay, and finally they will be connected, they'll be connected as a single project finally, but implemented as a individual modules. Okay, and just connected like this, and scaling will be very easy. You want to increase only search, increase the search. Okay, it's not going to depend on any cart, unnecessary memory not activated here. And even something problem comes in particular module, you need not to stop another one. Meanwhile, for example, payment is giving problem, meanwhile you can do search and cart, only some percent of people will may get problem here. Okay, so such kind of designing is actually called as microservices. Okay, a simple design. It's not only this one, even we have so many tools to discuss something like that is actually load balancing server. Okay, so we have something like Eureka server, and we have to discuss with distributed tracing, Jipkirian sleuth, okay, circuit breaker dashboard, okay, API gateway. Okay, so distributed log tracing, and we'll be having config server. We'll be having so many tools that I can't show as of now all. One separate session I'll be taking about microservice. Today I'm just giving as an overview. Are you developing all modules as a single project? That's called monolithic. Mono means one. No, this time divide and connect again. Okay, decoupled architecture, divide it and again finally connect it. Okay, so that maintenance will be very easy. Okay, this will be actually code changes are increasing multiple will be very easy actually, but this is a big task. This is a big task even. Okay, in microservice also we have some limitations. Okay, it's not a completely in high level. Here also we have some limitations. Later I'll explain that one by one here. Okay, okay, in case of database sharing, how it is going to be. Okay, if for example these many applications are there, how to connect with one database, then how to handle some transaction management, some limitations also here, sir. Okay, that we are going to see separately one by one here. Okay, there is the intra communication of microservice, how one microservice will communicate to another microservice. That concept is called intra communication or circuit. That is called circuit. Search model will connect to this model will connect to this. Like that complete design we'll see one day separately. Okay, that will take easily 3 to 4 hour session. Okay, that I'll take separately, not to worry about that. Okay, okay, so here this is going to be microservices like this. Here it's a just overview I'm just giving here. That is called decoupled architecture. Okay, so Spring Boot concept is going to cover all this kind of things. Okay, we are going to see all this kind of things actually in our sessions. That's what in the demo I'm just planning to say here. Okay, so we are going to develop the distributed type applications. Okay, we are going to learn some knowledge over these all different kind of tools. Okay, yes, we do cloud deployment also. I'll give PCF. Okay, completely PCF I'll give here. Okay, Pivotal Cloud Foundry or Spring One will be there. Okay, so we are going to do process also here, how to work with JSON. I'll give Angular integration and React integration. I won't teach Angular. Okay, you should have basic knowledge of that. Okay, but not in the starting, almost in the end of the sessions. Okay, it's like a mini project I'll give. Okay, at the end, not only backend application, I'll give Angular integration also. Again, I'm saying I won't teach Angular. Angular you have to learn separately. I'll give integration here. I'll give integration here, something small integration, how to write some React application I'll show here. Okay, remaining all I'll teach. Remaining everything I'll teach here. Okay, whatever you are able to see here on screen, what I explained so far, everything I'll teach. That's for sure. Okay, and I